Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in. It is the Maize and Blue Review. I'm Dennis Fithian, and here is Jim Scarcelli, the former Wolverine. After week one, we are ready to talk about Michigan. Look back at Fresno, look ahead to Texas, talk about everything else that went on in week one, and looking ahead to week two. This is what we've been waiting for, and here we are, ready to go. Scar, how are you?
Danny, where's the music, baby? Where's the intro with the music, man? You're not on your game, brother.
You just can't hear it.
Okay. Anyway, Danny, the game was exactly the kind of game, not exactly, but a lot of what old Scar said he wanted. I wanted to get tested. I wanted our young quarterback to get tested. Our offense have to drive the football at the end of the game. Our defense got tested by a good quarterback. And that was a good team, and we got people a little nervous. So, Denny, I'm going to come right out with my pick. 7.5 points. Are you kidding me? 7.5 points, Michigan at home. Disrespect. I think it's my pick is Michigan. I think it's based on, Denny, it's based on one position, the quarterback. I figure it like this. Their quarterback is worth 3 points. Started 20 games. Our guys started 1 game. I think our defense is better. I think our defense worth 3 points. Okay. I think our kicker is better. I think he's worth a point. Our kicking game and our kicker is better. And I think our home field is worth 2 points. So that's a 3-point edge for Michigan. Home field 2, kicker 1. And Denny, I'm actually taking Michigan -1.5, paying 260. So I'm coming out of the blocks with my pick. I just, I think about a sense of urgency is good sometimes. It's not good sometimes. It's good all the time, Denny. As a football coach, sometimes you have to create that sense of urgency. If you're rolling along and you're hammering people 650 to nothing, but we have a sense of urgency. The greatest sense of urgency in a team I've ever been on was my freshman year. We were the number 1 ranked team in the country. We went to Wisconsin and got beat. The next day in that full team meeting, Bo Schembechler just shredded dudes like I have never seen as a coach. And I never saw again in my 5 years at Michigan. He was just shredding guys. Anyway, we come back the next week. We got Notre Dame at home. They're the number 1 team in the country, and we hammer them. Sense of urgency, pissed off people, coaches pissed off. So I think we have a serious sense of urgency. We're right where we want to be, and I'm fired up, Danny. I like a lot of the things I saw.
Let me just put a little music to it, Scar, and think about it for a second. Scar's picking Michigan. Michigan outright in this game. Let's dance.
Our home field, the fans got to be a factor, Denny. Fans got to bring it, man. They got to bring the thunder. They got to be a factor.
Well, I like your optimism. This is a game that if Michigan is able to win this, everything that you thought that you might have been worried about in week one, like the quarterback play and the offensive line play and the wide receivers, maybe the offense as a whole, that gets completely flipped. And now you feel like Michigan's one of the better teams in the country. That's how big of a game. That's why I like games like this. It's like we don't have to sit around and do a lot of hand-wringing this week about, Fresno this, Fresno that. You go out there and take down the Longhorns, you're the apple of everyone's eye.
Yeah, we have an elite defense. I would have liked to seen a little more depth played in the D line. We played 3 linebackers. I would have liked to seen a 4th one. They didn't hardly play Hood. We played a lot of guys in the secondary. We played 4 edge players. I like the edge rotation. I would have liked to see the 4th linebacker. Good rotations in the secondary to develop depth. I'm a little. I don't understand why Eto didn't play. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't understand why we didn't rotate more guys there. Now, I'm thinking, is it a head coach decision? Is it a Wink decision? Is it an Espo decision? Because Espo has the front five. He rotated the 4 edge guys, but he didn't rotate inside guys. So that's the only beef I have with from a coaching standpoint. But our defense is elite, Denny, and our quarterback play. I'm just giving general thoughts. That kid was, for a first start, you kidding me? He had one bad pass, underthrew the deep one. I'll take that in a minute. The kid is he's we can win with that, man. We won with Cade McNamara. We can win with that guy. So our offensive line is going to get better. Our receivers got to get more separation in general. I think that's something they got to get separation. They got to help our run game by getting separation. But we'll get into when we look at film. There's a lot of things to look at. But I'm fired up, man.
Yeah, with Davis Warren, this was a game that was a little bit too close for comfort for me getting into the fourth quarter and when Fresno scored their only touchdown. But that did flip a switch. I mean, from there, Michigan, their defense played great right off the bat, getting the pick. Their offense was great, then taking it right down the field and getting a touchdown. But then it took Fresno scoring that touchdown to really, I don't know if it was lighting a fire or whatever else, because the offense then, they really needed to put a drive together, and they did. And then the defense stood and got the big pick from Will Johnson, and that was the ball game. So the bookends, I really like. The stuff in between, not so much. But I understand that it's game one, and you're not going to come out and you're not going to be hitting on everything, and this awesome game. So I would give them a C+ in that opener.
Yeah. No, listen, for Denny, the Fresno defense was good. The coach did a great job. He did exactly what I thought he would do, is try to really load up against the run, make Davis Warren beat you. But Denny, there's no turnovers, man, other than the bomb. Okay, so that's great. I'm going to go through some things real quick. I thought that we didn't do hardly any shifting and stuff to really help our offense. I don't know if that was saving things, but we didn't do a lot of the things to help our offensive line, to help our offense that we've done in the past. Shifting, motions, stuff to really give our players an advantage. We didn't have hardly many penalties. That is something that I'm looking for, is, in my opinion, is a real indicator of a head coach. Penalties, discipline, and Sharon Moore, that's what I'm finding, man. Can we continue to do that? No penalties. That was great to see. What else do I got? Not a lot of mental mistakes on defense. I thought Wink defensively only had one questionable call. I'm going to look at that when we look at film.
Cover zero?
Yeah, I got it. We'll look at it and we'll evaluate it. But it was good to see. It was good to see Loveland blocking at the line of scrimmage. I thought he would be an improved player blocking, and he was. Hinton is faster and more athletic. He looks like he's going to have a great year. But Danny, a lot of good stuff, man.
Look ahead to Texas. You did. You picked. So do you think Michigan's going to stay with the 2 quarterback system? It's going to be similar to what we saw this past Saturday, or do you put some wrinkles in
Danny,
there?
Listen, Alex Orji is a package, like 7 offensive linemen is a package. It's a problem to defend. It's a problem to prepare for. What I would do with Alex Orji is everything they've done from a run standpoint. His passing would be shorter passes like the one we scored a touchdown on, okay, or bombs when they overcommit. But to throw a rollout, deep outcut, obviously he's done it in practice. Maybe he's got to get the stress. He hasn't thrown the ball a lot in games, so people are quick to evaluate some of these kids. Now, hey, listen, Davis Warren adjusted. He threw the ball pretty damn good for a first start. He showed no signs of stress. His very first pass was like right on the money. So anyway, if Alex Orji's in the game and I'm coaching him, we're running the hell out of every run play we have, every run play he has, short passes, 10-yard passes or bombs when we really think they're overcommitting. I'm not having them throw outcuts from the opposite hash and difficult passes, but I would definitely have a package with him because it's problematic to defend. So, yes, I would.
You'd have him throw down the field, huh?
Well, yeah, I would. Denny, listen, the short touchdown pass we threw is beautiful.
Yeah, that was
defenses
nice.
Don't want to see that. The last thing a defense that's preparing for Michigan wants to see is when Alex Orji goes in the game, he can complete passes. Because now they got to honor pass a little bit. They can't overload on our run game, on the quarterback run game, and now it's really problematic. So, the one pass he threw that was real short on the sideline, that does not help, the cause of a defense looking at tendencies. Because when I see those kind of passes, I'm just going to have more confidence that he can't throw the ball. So I'm just keeping it real with you.
And you said you liked Hinton. Overall, you feel like this team...
Danny, listen, I thought I'll go real quick at our offensive line. Hinton has lost weight. They talked about him. He's lost weight. He's faster. He's athletic. He's pissed off. He played good. He's going to have a real good year. Preeb is what we thought he'd be. Solid, tough. There's obviously the center position is up for grabs still. You got young guys. They got to get better. El Hadi had a couple flaws in there, but they're going to improve so much from game 1 to game 2. The right tackle is solid. They hardly played Gentry. He just got a few reps. Again, that offensive line is going to improve tremendously from game 1 to game 2. Our tight end play is good. I'd like to see him throw the ball to Klein. We didn't throw it to Klein. We got to have 2 guys that we can throw the football to. Our receivers got to get separation, man. They got to get separation. I think our running back play, they secured the dang football, Denny. More than anything, they secured the football. Both those running backs secured the football. Mullings is making guys miss. He had a great run. We're going to look at that one. The kid's got vision. He's tough. Donovan is bigger and thicker. Okay, he's a bigger, thicker kid. You can see it in his speed. He's lost a half step in his speed, but he's thicker between the tackles. And I think our quarterback play is good enough to win, man. But that's real quick offensively, some evaluations.
How about this real quick question about putting Orji and Warren in at the same time? You like that wrinkle?
Well, I don't know what that really gives you. You're asking yourself, is Orji going to be a better running back than Donovan Edwards or Mullings? I mean, what are you going to do with them? You're going to have – it's not,
I think it's the idea of maybe fooling with the personnel where you're running out Orji. So suddenly Texas is like, Orji. And then Warren's still out there and you kind of forget about him and you send Orji out as a wide receiver. And you got Warren over there and you're thinking maybe you have more, you got nicer numbers in the past.
I don't know that.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, Danny, I don't know that it gives me much. I think offensively, I'd rather have Mullings in the game than as a runner, but I don't know what it gives you.
All right, here's a question from Mark. Convince him this is a step-up game, like somewhat unimpressive while going 9-0. Feels like the offense is out of rhythm from a few miscues. Michigan will play like they did against Penn State last year heading into this game. So that sounds like a running
No, I
formula
listen,
for running.
Our quarterback has shown he can throw the football, man. I mean, he had one bad pass. It was underthrown, but a lot of, I think the kid was fairly accurate. Now he's not going to avoid the rush and get out of the pocket. Although I think he's a little more athletic than Cade McNamara. And I think we're going to see RPO quarterback keep stuff. I think they're going to treat him a lot like JJ, Denny. They're going to have some quarterback keep RPO stuff like we would do with JJ in crucial situations, where he can hold the ball and then get out of bounds or slide down. But we got to have that in our game. And, I'm confident in his ability to throw the football. So I don't know if I answered that question. No, the kicker, we hit the jackpot on the kicker, man. We did a great job, with that. And what else do I have? Denny, I wasn't happy with not rotating defensive linemen. I would have liked to see Gentry play more. Page is hitting dudes. I remember early on, I wasn't, fired up about his toughness, but Page is he's a captain, and he's just a solid, really hitting people. So I was happy to see that. What else, Danny? What else?
Mark wants to know about the kick returns, having Mullings back there.
I don't understand that, but if they well, listen, we have a lot. Maybe they have a lot of faith in some of the other running backs. That tells you, Danny, either we don't have many good punt return or kick return guys that they feel real confident with, or they have a lot of faith in our depth at running back, because you don't want to put your top running, because he was our best running back. I thought he played, I just thought he was our best running back Saturday. And
he was, and Sharon Moore said that Mullings was their best kick returner because he's good at catching the ball and he's good at reading how the defense sets up the returner set up the blocks. He said he's got great vision for that, and so is that because he's a running back? Is that different when you're in the return? How you see how the your patience with
Danny, that's one of, I think that running back vision is just like a lot of positions in terms of some stuff you just can't coach.
Yeah.
Okay. I know linebackers seeing and diagnosing things. There's some things you just can't coach, that other guys feel it. They feel the whole big picture. So that's that.
All right, Scar, what about, before we go Texas and get into the film, did you watch any of the other teams and did anything jump out from anybody that Michigan's going to be playing this season?
Well, first of all, I think USC, Lincoln Riley did what Jim Harbaugh did. Lincoln Riley's a good offensive coach. His offense has been kind of soft, spread guy. It doesn't help his defense. So I watched him against LSU. He goes out and he hires a Wink Martindale guy. Okay. His defensive coordinator, Lynn, worked under Wink. What they're running, he's got Sean Nua over there who worked under McDonald his first year. Remember Sean Nua?
Yeah.
He's the D-line coach. So you got Wink Martindale's defense, which is they're very similar to us. They're watching, so he's coached at a lot of different places, this Lynn guy, but what he's running is Wink Martindale stuff. So they won that football game. Lincoln Riley is added a more physicality to his offense to help his defense, and his defense is schematically, foundationally Wink Martindale stuff. Same thing we had with McDonald, Minter. So anyway, he saved his job. They are now a problem. USC might be tougher to beat at home than Oregon. They might be, or every bit as tough. I thought that would be a nice game we could win because they'd be soft on defense, but they're not. They improved on defense. Oregon is, okay, people are panicking over there now. Idaho, I don't know. How do you get fired up for Idaho? But whatever. They didn't do a great job. I'm glad we don't play Penn State. That's a good football team. They got players, they got athletes, they got good offensive, defensive coordinator. Michigan State, he's a good coach. They don't have, I don't know, they got a good quarterback, man. Anything can happen with that quarterback. I think we got a lot of better players than them at the other 21 positions, but their quarterback is good. He can run. He's athletic. Anything can happen with a kid like that. He's running the outside zone. We don't see a ton of that, and that's the foundation of what he is. The Buckeyes, look, they're beatable, man. They're beatable. They got hellish receivers, couple good running backs. Quarterback was throwing the ball good. He's an athlete. He can run and throw, but okay, they're beatable, man. So Washington, beatable. We got to go there. It's going to be a tough game in that environment, though. Their crowd gets fired up. Indiana, we got them, Danny. They're a very well-coached team. He don't have the horses. He got a good quarterback. Indiana is a very well-coached football team. Doesn't have the horses.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ben Hall didn't get any snaps at all. We don't know who our third running back is. We don't know. That was not established.
Well, that was one part. It wasn't a perfect opener if you wanted to see a lot of the depth for Michigan because that was a one-score game in the fourth quarter, so they didn't really have a lot. It wasn't unless you wanted to do that like rotation, which was a little bit bizarre to me that they had going in the first half. The whole rotation thing, they're taking it a little bit too far. I mean, I'm not
You talking about
comfortable
like the
with
running
it.
back position?
I'm talking about it swapping out the entire secondary. I'm talking about flipping around the center. I'm talking about spotting orgy in different spots. I don't like any of that, but they played it the first half like it was an exhibition game or a preseason game. And I think Michigan played a little bit like that. They came out and had the great two series, that one on defense and one on offense. And then it was kind of like, hey, we already have this game won. Let's just start rotating guys in. And they caught up with them a little bit. And it was a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Then they flipped the switch. That's fine. You know, being able to flip the switch is a nice thing to do as a team, but you weren't able to play guys and get them some run. But you would think that they would be after this week against the Red Wolves of Arkansas State when they come in.
Yeah, Danny, there's a fine line there. You want to get guys ready. You want to get your starters ready, but at the same time develop depth. So I have no problem with rotating the way they did. I have a problem that we didn't rotate enough with the D-line. That was my problem. A couple other things, Denny. Again, you think people look at things like Scar's nuts, but we had the interception. There's an upside to that. Our defense had to face sudden change. Now, it wasn't on our end of the field, but there's always I always look at the upside of stuff. Sudden change is when you have a turnover. And we responded and got the ball back. But a couple other things. Cam Ward, the kid at Miami, I'm sure as hell glad he didn't go to Ohio State. I'm glad he's down there with the Canes. He's good.
Yeah, I agree.
He's real, real good. And Texas, Denny, will be a lot harder to make one-dimensional. We were able to make Fresno, for the most part, one-dimensional. We took their run game away, and it was down to the quarterback and those good receivers. The Texas will be a hell of a lot harder. So that's that.
Yeah, I like when you look at Texas and Michigan from a matchup standpoint. You say, well, you have a real experienced quarterback in Ewers. You got to be able to put pressure on them. Michigan can do that. You say you got to be able to really cover in the back end. And Michigan really can do that. So defensively in the matchup, if Michigan can score some points in this game, like you're thinking that they're going to be able to do, there's the path to victory. There's more than one path to victory, but Michigan's defense and how it sets up against this Longhorn. And then Davis Warren on Monday said, when you get a good down and distance, the game, pretty much he was saying the game's easy. If Michigan can come out and have some success running the ball and you're in some nice manageable second and 3, 3rd and 1, a lot of that instead of 3rd and long, that's also going to be something that's going to help Michigan. I know those are things that everyone knows. It's kind of like, hey, protect the ball, play good, and have a good kicking game and all of that. But down and distance for a new quarterback against Texas is going to be something that's going to really help Michigan out there. And that's just coming out running the ball.
Yeah, well, Danny, you can't be afraid to throw on first down either, though. You can't.
That's fine.
You can't play by the book and just, we're going to hammer it on first down and then leave the kid out there 3rd and 8 when they know they're going to throw. No, you got to wing it on first down. You got to do what we've been doing, man. Denny, a couple other quick thoughts that is happening, I believe, in college football, especially in the Big Ten. I think you're seeing the Michigan effect with a lot of teams in the Big Ten. What I mean by that is a little more tight ends and fullbacks and things, and the Wink Martindale defense is everywhere. I just think it's when you're winning 3 championships in a row. I know as a former coach, you look at, what do I do? Do I got to model? A lot of people start to model the guy that's winning and what they're doing to win. And I think that's something that's happening there. But the big question I have, Denny, is who's our backup quarterback? Is it? I mean, if this guy goes down, can we put Orgy in there? And have the defense say, okay, this guy can really run the complete offense and throw all the different routes. I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Well, they made it sound like the quarterback well, not made it sound like they spilled the quarterback competition into game week. So they're telling you that they thought Orgy was this close to winning this job outright.
Okay.
So I would say that Orgy would be the guy. Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, though.
Well, we'll see. Then a couple other notes before we get into the film, though. We talked about betting. I obviously like Michigan this week. The best way to go early in general, and because Scar has said he doesn't have discipline the first 3 weeks, I tend to bet when I don't know these damn teams. The best way to go is live betting. If you're really watching football and you understand it, wait a couple of series. I did pretty good this weekend betting live. Watch them. Look at the line of scrimmage. Who's winning the line of scrimmage? That's how you want to think about your bets.
What game did you bet live? Give me a game or two. BC,
well, I'm talking about when I say live, I mean I'm watching it. I got
you. Did you watch BC and you said, "Oh, these guys are manhandling Florida State"?
You could see the line of scrimmage. Florida State, their run defense is soft. I thought Georgia Tech was some great, powerful run game, but Florida State, they look soft. He hasn't done a good job there, and we're going to get into some of these. I think some of the reasons for that is some of the stuff they do on offense. But I don't know what happened there. They don't look like the big physical team on defense. And
no, and DJU looked like Orgy in a couple of those passes. The one that I don't know, bagging on Orgy through the one bad pass, but DJU was bad.
Yeah, the fourth and I think the kid was overrated from day one. All he's ever done is lose. I hate to say it. He lost at Clemson. The kid just doesn't have it. Denny, the 4th and 1 stop. I don't have it on film, but the 4th and 1 stop. I question the call from the shotgun. I don't know if some quarterbacks are better at quarterback sneak. So we're going to look as the season goes on. Getting under center, is that an issue? Is he not very good? I don't know what. It just seemed like in the past we would have been under center there. And did some things differently. I don't like the way we didn't seal the edge. I don't like it, we get pressure off the backside. That happens you put a guy 5 yards deep, it's easy for that to happen. Obviously, there's strengths and weaknesses of under center and shotgun for that short yardage, but you sure as hell can't let guys come off the edge. And we're progressing, I want to see if Davis Warren can run a quarterback sneak.
Great point. I would have put Orgy in there if you're thinking about who's going to be able to pick me up some inches here under center. I would say maybe one of the strongest guys on the team.
Denny, we did that later in the game, and you're absolutely right. You put Orgy, if you're going to do that, put Orgy in the game so they got to honor quarterback keep and all that other BS, quarterback ISO, running back stuff, but also the quarterback stuff. And that's what I think they did later on. Because it doesn't give you much. You're not going to throw the football in 4th and inches. I mean, we did it at times on the 40-yard line. We did it against Ohio State, but you're absolutely right. And that's a situation where Orgy can be a real problem. And
I like it.
What else, Denny? I'm trying to see what else I got here.
How about when they scored the touchdown to go up 12 and they kicked their extra point? If you go for 2 there, you get up 14. Making it a 13-point game with the time there didn't make a lot of sense. You don't have time to, kick. You don't have time to score a touchdown and kick 2 field goals if you're Fresno, but they could have scored 2 touchdowns. The idea there, I think every card says go for 2.
Oh, does it, Denny? I forget. I used to carry the card with me after my first year as a head coach. I made a mistake, and ever since then, I had the damn card with me.
It didn't hurt. The Moore was asked about it.
And the card says go for 2 there?
No, I said, I just said that. It just makes sense.
Well, I don't know.
If you're up 12. Why would you? Why is when you want to be up? You want to be up 12, 13, or 14? What you're thinking about there.
Well, now you win it with a field goal, though. I don't know if they were to score 2 touchdowns. Now you win it with you can. I don't know. I don't know what the thinking were. Hey, Denny, just a quick reminder: we're going to go on Mondays from now on. You and Scar, and Jerry's going to stay on Friday. So Mondays, Scar will be going. and with you going over the film review and doing all that.
Sounds good to me.
What else, Denny? I talked about I see Davis Warren being treated a lot like JJ on the quarterback run stuff, RPO stuff. But anything else other than that, we can pretty much get going on the film here in a minute.
Let's see some film. Let's go. I'm ready for it. I've been waiting all week. I'm happy.
Good. So let's start from the beginning.
That's a good spot to start.
It looks like Doman is going to be kicking off the football. So
Tommy Doman.
Yeah, he's been around, put it in the end zone, trying to look at some of these guys on this kickoff team. So we so far our special teams were good. They were a positive factor. All right, Denny. I see little different things from Wink. McDonald or Minter would never allow a guy in a 3-point stance because it gives away that he's probably rushing. These guys were always in 2-point stances, our edge players. But now he's got, Stewart probably said, I want to do it, but it gives something away unless you could, because it hurts you dropping in coverage if you're in a 3-point stance. But here we go with Wink. This is 3rd and 5, our first test. What's the crazy man going to do? Well, not much. He's got 5 up, 3rd and 5. And I like it how we get good pressure off our edges. He feels it. This is just a perfect rush, man. You get pressure up and inside. The quarterback feels it. We got good contain on the outside. And the result is a short quarterback, can't see over it, throwing over Big Grant, and he throws it a little high. And that's about pressure, and that's all those things matter. But he feels this box he's in over here. So I like that. 5 up, zone coverage, high pass, and Barry's right there to pick it off. And Barry he looks leaner. I just want to point out the OG getting fired up, and Espo got the hat on backwards. So that's, these guys are fired up. I look at them, I listen to them. I'd love to play for those guys. Just got to point that out. The OG getting fired up.
Did you let your assistant coaches wear their hats backwards?
I didn't care. Just coach hard, man.
All right.
Have your players ready to go. I don't care.
I don't care either. I just wanted to ask you.
Coach hard, man. Your players better know what the heck they're doing. So anyway, here's 10 getting he's developed into a guy because we didn't know where he was, and he looks like he lost a little weight. What did I have a question mark about? Oh. The linebacker. Anyway, get a block. So that's a good way to start. So those are things though that you got to put it into the deal about our defense. Okay, we created turnover. We created some turnovers at night. Okay, because we stuff the run game. We make them play high risk football, and then we do things with stunning pressures. So you stuff the run game, and then you get the turnover, and it's because they can't run the dang football because you've made them one dimensional. Okay, first series here, first pass by our quarterback. Scar has, yes, we can. We can win a championship with this kid. Let's keep him healthy. I think we can. He ain't no different than McNamara as far as I'm concerned. We got good protection here. This line is going to improve. Tight end. He's a problem. He's a blocker. He's an all-American tight end. So I just loved it. We're isolating them. We can, if we line them up here, they got to decide that they want to bring a big guy in to defend our run. And now we can exploit that big guy and isolate him, bring him out, step him out in space. I don't know what the hell Todd Blackledge was talking about. When he referred to Davis Warren, he said he has to improve compared him to JJ. He's not as accurate, has to become more accurate, but he has great arm talent. So I don't know what the hell arm talent means, Denny. What does that mean? He's not very accurate, but he has great arm. So anyway,
Strong arm. You got a strong arm. That's what it
means.
Well,
that's not arm talent. He didn't say you throw it a mile. I don't know what that means.
That's what arm talent means. That's what arm talent means. It means that you can throw the ball a mile. You can make all the throws.
Well, I don't know. That's whatever the hell that means. So
I know you don't like that. You don't like the arm talent.
I don't know what it means. Does it mean he's accurate?
I just told you, no, it does. It does not mean you're accurate. So it means that you can really air it out. Joe Milton has.
Well, let's say that. Say he can throw it 80 yards. Okay, I'm done with that guy. He does no defense. He rips on defensive players. He's not my favorite guy doing games.
Okay.
That's Scar. Nice throw, nice catch. I was fired up with this. It was an accurate throw, right where it had to be. Okay, and Denny, I talked about this. Here we got Orgy in the game. 1st and 10. This is the last thing that defenses want to see when this kid is in the game. They want to think that we are just one-dimensional. We're going to give it to this guy, or he's going to keep it. But when we start throwing the football, even on this short stuff, I'm not quite sure what. Normally, you have a play that is run off of, so I'm not quite sure what this play. What the play action was. What was the play? There's again, Demi, when you throw play action, there's a play that you run, and I don't know what run play was possibly there. But we get these guys confused a little bit. They're both screwed up in coverage, and Donovan's wide open. But even though it's a short pass, if I'm coaching Michigan and I'm going to do some things with Orgy, this is the stuff I want him to throw. High percentage, easy stuff, or bombs when they really, really overcommit. You agree with that?
Yeah, well, that makes sense to me. I would only, to me, I would only have Orgy in short yardage situation. He's a wildcat quarterback. I don't like taking snaps away from the starter. It takes away the rhythm. People that said, well, they did it, for JJ last year, that was rolling the dice a little bit. You also had a experienced coach and an experienced quarterback. Now you have a rookie coach and a rookie quarterback, and you're asking these guys to do an awful lot. Don't worry about the rhythm of the game. Make sure you're staying in with momentum. Orgy on 2nd down. Here comes Warren. So I don't know. They're rolling the dice to me.
I got no problem with it.
I know you don't. You like it. You like the rotation.
I got no problem with it. He's like 7 offensive linemen. He's a package. Orgy's a package. Make the defense deal with it. Here's Wink again, 5 up. What's the down and distance? 3rd and 4. We got, it looks like Barry is the nickel. And I talked about isolating number 2, and I tell you, he's getting a little help here, but I talked that Wink might want to isolate Johnson, not give him help. You got a great player, and he goes for the pick. He doesn't make it there, but I'm trying to figure out if they were throwing at Johnson so much because he wasn't getting help, or is it because they maybe thought he was a little banged up? I'll tell you one thing I'm seeing from Wink, Denny. Well, first of all, he does a lot of stuff that we did 50 years ago at Michigan. But he like normally you have a guy that you always have to have a guy contain the quarterback. So here he lets these tackles take inside goes more than Minter and McDonald did. You see how this guy on the edge here is taking an inside go on the tackle? See him right there? Let me
inside go. You mean you're not staying in your lane? You're staying. You're busting out of your lane.
Like right now, if I stop it right there, the quarterback could just run here,
right?
And because you got no contain here, but Wink has a little different theory, I think, than unless it was for this kid who they don't think wanted to roll out to his left. Possibly that could have been from scouting. Some quarterbacks don't want to roll to the left, escape to the left. But he did this, and it is what we're going to watch it as it evolves. I never did it. I wasn't allowed. We weren't really believed in it. But again, we're going to see how it played out. It never hurt us in this game. But this kid is going to have a great year. I said Moore and Stewart are 2 of the. I'll take them above any of them 2 clowns at Ohio State. I'll tell you that right now. I'll take our 2 guys.
2 clowns. All right, there you go.
Mamalua and the other guy, whatever the hell. I'll take our
Sawyer.
guys. What's his name?
Sawyer?
Yeah, I'll take our guys. This kid is going to have a year. He was a 4-star player, and that's a great play. Gets pressure, keeps him inside the defense, and the other guy cleans him up. So that's good edge play. Another thing, Denny, I'm seeing from Wink. Here's 3rd and 3. Wink is going to ask these big defensive tackles to contain the quarterback more. We are so. Here's what do we got here? 5 up, 4. This is our base defense. We're in our base with 1 linebacker. I think we took a D lineman out. Playing zone coverage here, disguising who's rushing, who's dropping. But he's asking this guy to contain the football. This is a big, normally in the past, a defensive tackle. So as we watch the game, you're going to see more 55, 78, 26. I had a problem with some of that stuff because I question the speed. That's why an edge player is an edge player, because they're a little faster. And that's why a defensive tackle is a defensive tackle, because they're bigger. They're taking on double teams. But I think we're going to see this from Wink. So here's 26 out here containing. Anyway, good job breaking on the short route. That was a coverage defensive stop. Good job by Wink. I'm leaving a lot of offensive stuff for Jerry for Friday. So, Denny, here we are, 2nd and 8. So what Wink did a lot of, and Winter and McDonald did this too. We're in our base defense, but I call it base because we have 3 defensive linemen in. And sometimes one of these defensive linemen is an edge guy. So he takes out a defensive lineman. Anyway, it's either 5-2 or 5-1. This is a 5-1 look. 2nd and 8. He ran a lot of this 5-1 look. And, good throw. The kid's a good quarterback, and they got some good receivers, as good as anybody we're going to see, man. This is a good throw. Good. The kid's got no help. Looks like we're in a 3. Is this a 3 deep zone? Oh, that's a man coverage, man. And he doesn't have much help. And the kid made a hell of a play. Big, tall receiver.
Yeah, that's Michigan's 3rd defensive back there, Miles Pollard.
Yeah, well, he's giving these guys a chance and to see what they can do. Denny, some guys are gamers, man. Here's TJ Guy in the game early. And he's does a decent job here. Still the same stuff. Gap and a half is how we're teaching it, but that's too much. This is a damn good receiver. And again, I was trying to figure out, Denny, because they threw a lot toward Johnson. Now, are we not helping them? So the announcer kept talking about him being hurt, right? You heard that little ankle or something?
I didn't hear him say that he had an ankle. He did question if he was hurt, but they were just rotating him out. He did have his middle finger taped on Monday, and I think he said he had stitches in there, but that on his, I think, right hand.
Okay, well, this is zero coverage. You got no help. You guys have no help, and it could be, is this guy the stud? And he's our best receiver, and we got our best guy covering him. But it's tough. He's got no help here, man. But this is this scheme here is old school Michigan, man. This goes way back. Wink likes this stunt right here, Danny. He runs it a lot. Where he'll bring a guy off he slants the defense to the field here. He runs a ton of this. And they'll bring a backer in here then. In that gap up there. He's a little slow. I'd like to see the backer time that up a little better. I don't like the way this is timed up because the ball's being thrown and the linebacker still just barely crossed the line. He's there, but anyway, he likes that stunt. And what you're seeing over here, Denny, is what I talk about with big fellas that are going to have to contain. So now he's dropping this guy, and he's got Mason. Is that Mason Graham right here? Coming out here to contain that. Or that was Kenny
Grant. Grant.
Anyway, that's a long way to go. Those are big bodies. It's just a little different philosophy than what McDonald and Minter did. They didn't have those big guys containing. We all saw it. Denny, I went up to practice in preseason practice a couple weeks back, and I knew we hit the jackpot with this kid. This kid could kick the football. So our coaches did a great job identifying the right kid, the right transfer, and he's a stud. So we're good here, man.
Yeah.
That's good news, man. Anyway, Denny, this stuff, this defense here, and Wink ran a lot of this defense right here Saturday. This is 1975. Donnie Dufek coming off the edge, man. And what we used to call
Wolf.
Before I played, but it's the same stuff. We used to call this, but this is a strong safety right here, and we're slanting to the weak side of the formation. We called it slant strike. So this is a strong safety. This defense has been around. We ran the same damn thing in 75 with Dufek. We ran it in 85 with Doug Mallory and Ivan Hicks. We ran it in 95 with Trip Wellborn. The same stuff. Nothing's changed. People want to say Wink is, like he's reinventing the wheel. Well, he ain't reinventing nothing. This stuff has been around. Now, he lets this guy take an inside go at the top, which, he does some things a little different. This guy here, he lets him take an inside go on that tackle. You see that?
Right. And the difference is, you would say, if it was a Mac Minter defense, that these guys preach to lane integrity.
They might be not. Yeah, he might not let him go inside there. But here's the edge player dropping, and this is strong safety rush. This is the same stuff. 75, 85, 95, same stuff. And again, man, Wink is found. I think his foundation is Jack Harbaugh. I think that's what his foundation is as a coach. And here, I like seeing guys celebrate, man. Find your teammate, celebrate as a team. I hate when I see guys just run off by themselves after they make a play,
Agreed.
I don't understand that. I'd be ripping them. I'd be ripping those dudes if I was coaching them. Anyway, again, here's the DT out, a 5-1 package. So we took a D lineman out. We got hurt here all day in this middle, Danny. You notice that we got hurt in the middle of the defense and on pass?
No, I didn't actually notice it.
Well, a lot of their passing was in the middle, and I just think we got to do a better job. Wink will look at it. The secondary coaches will look at it. He's got to feel this receiver, I think. This is Page.
That looked like a missed assignment. He's running free, right?
Well, we're disguising. I mean, you got listed all the guys we got at the line of scrimmage. I mean, let's take it from the top. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys up, and they're trying to disguise some things, and they're motioning. And I just would like to see him on the snap of the ball. Page, right now, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? This guy's looking here. You see how he's looking to bracket this guy with him?
Yeah.
Page is, I don't know why he's looking, look this guy up. That's what I got to believe they're going to ask him, why are you looking at him? He's looking looking here, feel him, start to break. I think he gets a little late break and he's just out of position. You see that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's how they might be coaching that. Game here. Where are our eyes? Here's a 3-point stance. And we got 4 up. Again, the 3-point. This is different than what Minter. He would not let these guys get in 3-point stances. They were always in 2 points when we were in this 4-man nickel package.
So is there an advantage, Scar, to being it? Does it get you if you're just...
Danny, listen, I think it's just like sprinting in a race. If a sprinter, you don't see a sprinter in a 2-point stance, right?
No, you see him in a 3-point stance.
The Olympics, a sprinter's going to be in a 3-point stance, come off low, hard, blah, 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 right? So it's the same thing rushing the quarterback. But the problem is it's harder to drop in coverage from a 3-point stance. So you're not really disguising.
Right.
what that's that part of what you're doing. So Wink obviously doesn't care because in Espo they're allowing him to do it, but we got a 4-man up front, and I think I've got eyes here because I'd like to see him, that linebacker, feel this curl behind him. What's the down and distance? No,
2nd and 10.
Anyway, that's again, we got hurt in the middle of our defense a lot. So all right, here's 7 up. Again, 0's a stud. Hard to find it's hard to find a guy, Denny, that can rush the quarterback as an edge player and then still is athletic enough to play in space and make a tackle like this. You see that? Those guys are hard to find. Defensive linemen, 3 techniques. Yeah, they just take on double teams and they don't have to drop in coverage. But an edge player has to, drop in coverage, run with tight ends or run with a back. And this is just a great job, I think, by Josiah Stewart. So we're showing 7 up. Down in distance is 3rd and 8. And they're running a screen out here. He beats this tackle, left shoulder tackle. Good hustle by our D line. But, again, I just see athleticism and I see a great job of knowing where his help is. How many times, Denny, do you hear me yelling when a guy's coming up and he knows he's got help here?
Turn him inside.
Yeah, but they let the ball outside the defense. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can see he's working left shoulder. He's going to keep the ball inside the defense. That's like beautiful. That's a great play.
Textbook.
Did you hear, did they name players of the week on defense? Did you hear?
I did not see anything. I saw Zavada made co-special teams player of the week.
I thought Stewart may have been had the best game. Okay, so this is what you want to do at Orgy now. What's the down and distance? 2nd and 9. Now we're running to the weak side of their formation. We got unbalanced over here. We got everything up here to the field. And we did a lot of this last year if they overcommit to, if a defense over-adjusts to a certain formation, and we get a great job blocking by Klein. So I like this is the stuff I want to see. I wanted to see more of against Fresno is, formations. And I don't care who you're playing. You still want to work on the stuff and give your players an advantage with smart formations and see how they're adjusting. But Klein is a stud. This is a great job blocking by him. And this is a good job by Alex reading this thing. And good job by Klein. Look at that block. So that's this, let's pick the right moment, the right formations. Let's help our offense with formations too, man. I don't care who you're playing. You just can't line up and knock people off the ball all the time. Okay, this is a well-executed stunt. All right. This is a well-executed stunt. And he's rotating 42 and 91 in there at the edge. Again, here's 55, Denny, from this position. They're going to ask Mason Graham to contain the football from he's head up over the nose. He's head up over the center. You see that?
Yeah.
And they're running a stunt. We're pressuring the left side of the offensive formation, our right side here. So we are overcommitting on this side of the protection. And in order to do that, though, this is you're pump faking dudes, but now he's going to ask Mason Graham to get out here and contain. So you got a 300-pound kid, but if you put a small guy in there, then you show it. You know what I mean? You're giving away things. But Wink has taken the philosophy that I'm going to have Mason Graham, Kenny Grant, and Benny. You guys are going to contain the football. But I got 42 circled here. This kid's got to. We got to have this guy. We need you, man. This guy's got to play. He's got to improve. We need 42 and 91 to develop. We need him to develop. We're going to lose Stewart. We're going to lose Moore. And these two guys got to be our guys next year. And they got to be backups this year that we can count on. So I don't like this by 42. I mean, they're running a stunt. He should be outside of this thing. He should never tie up if they're running a stunt inside of you. You follow me, Denny? When you're running this stunt, he's got to be out here. Give this thing more room so that this guy can't block two of these guys.
He doesn't want to be engaging with that.
I want him wider.
Tackle.
I don't want. Listen, this guy's got to block down on the one technique, and now this guy is going to have two dudes coming. Right? We got two guys coming in that gap, a safety and a backer. And I want this guy out here with width, so this gap is wider. You follow me? By it being wider.
Yep.
So now this linebacker, this fullback can't block both of these guys. So it's well executed stunt. But this guy should have been wider to make it more, and we get in this Barham kid is everything we thought. Athletic, fast.
Good pursuit. Yeah.
So anyway, we got a kicker. Again, I'm going to leave Jerry's got some good stuff. Again, here we go with strike again. What's the down and distance? 1st and 10. We're slanting to the weak side. And Rolder makes a play. So what Wink likes to do is take a D lineman out of the game. He'll have two linebackers in the game and bring one of them up to the line of scrimmage. And this is well executed, and they don't seal it. We're slanting to the right, and they don't block Rolder. He does it with good technique. He comes flat. When you're slanting in here, Denny, when you're slanting in here in the position he is, you got to come right down the line of scrimmage because this guy's coming also. And you don't want to come upfield and have too much up because he won't make this play. So you got to come real flat, and he comes flat, and he makes that's perfect. So that's Rolder. It looks like Rolder's our third linebacker.
Yeah.
So again, I'd like to see Hood get reps. Here's 4 up and 4 up and 1 backer. What's the down and distance?
Give me a second. There. 2nd and long.
Yeah. So the kid made a play.
On Will Johnson.
Well, listen, man, he's going to cover the best receiver, and that's what Wink's doing, man, and he's not giving him much help. I mean, where's the safety? Look at this kid. He's way over here on this hash. Where are you going to throw the football? You're going to put your best player here. Michigan's got our guy here. He's got no help. So Wink is doing exactly what I would do as a coach. You got your best player, dare him to throw at him. Don't protect him. Protect this guy. Protect this guy. With a safety over the top. So, you follow me, Denny?
Oh yeah, yeah. Texas. This is a good practice for Texas because that's what they're going to be doing.
Well, we'll have different ideas and different thoughts. We'll see. Wink will mix things up. I like the contain here by Josiah Stewart. Play goes away, he gets up. Quarterback is good. This kid was a good quarterback. So glad we don't have to deal with him. Again, here's Wink again, slanting a ton of this. He likes this stunt. Wink likes this stunt coming from the backside, bringing Minter and McDonald did not run this stunt much at all. This is a Wink thing. He likes it. He's bringing a backer in here, and this guy's going to contain. But he's going to, again, you got 78 out here containing. So Big Kenny's got to have his wheels going, man. You see that?
Yeah.
But again, if you put a smaller guy in there, a faster guy, then you give it away what you're doing. So I understand. I totally understand what Wink's doing. But again, you got a lot of field out here. You got 300-pounder got to contain the football. You got it?
Yes.
So that's that. So we're going to see. Maybe we'll see what next if he changes things next week. Here's Rocket Rod over here on the sideline, the captain. Just wanted to point him out.
Coach Rod.
Coach Rod making his presence felt. This is, this call. I don't know that I question it. I bet the coaches are questioning how they're coaching technique. 3rd and 8, Danny. The thing that the strength Michigan has down here and the weakness of these guys is the red zone. They don't have full backs and tight ends, and they're at a disadvantage when they get down here, inside the 10.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have the ball first and goal on the 6 against this team. Because now you got to throw it. Good luck. You ain't got a lot of room. So this was the only call I questioned it, but then I think the bigger problem is the technique. I think
You got to make this tackle, right?
well, listen, he's by himself. Okay, first of all, he's by himself. He got no help. So I'm not blaming a guy who's by himself. But I think on the snap of the ball, that's how they're coaching it because he's got the same kind of depth. Yeah. It's a good play by them. I'd like to think that we might change and mess around with our alignments pre-snap, sneak up. So because they got to change the route based on the alignment of this kid.
Yeah, he's actually there. If he makes the tackle, they're short of the.
Well, that's what you want to do, Denny. You'd like to think, and I know this is how they're coaching this. They would like to think that, okay, we're going to run this stunt, okay, and he's going to throw it quick, and because he has to throw it quick, that we're going to get a better break, and we're going to make the tackle right here. This is what they're hoping for, and now we got 4th and 3, 4th and 2. But that doesn't. You want to take the air out of it. That's how we coached our safeties and our secondary guys. You want to take the air out of it and the space. Take the space out of it and close the gap before he catches the football. And it just a second late, and he's able to make a move. So I got no. I don't know when I think about it. But I just think that Michigan, if they get a first down there, so what if we got to go first and not go on the 6?
Right.
I see our fans again. I think some of this stuff, Denny. I'm a little bit of fear, back to the wall. I want our fans ready, knowing we need them Saturday, man.
Yeah.
So again, this kind of stuff pisses me off. The TV guy got to point out the guy that got beat. Like he's some kind of let's point out the guy that got beat. But he's a good player, and it's part of the scheme, man. You put pressure on guys. But anyway, Denny, I don't have a ton of offense because Jerry's going to have more offensive stuff Friday. But I want to cover this play. Because this is there's a lot to talk about with this football play. This is an isolation play. It's old school. It's what Jim ran, but these guys don't see it. These spread guys, they don't see this stuff. They don't see a lot of isolation. When I mean isolation, this is what Bo called it, is you isolating. You're taking a fullback and you're isolating a linebacker. He's going to come right in and isolate him. Okay, and you just give the ball to him. We used to run it under with a fullback behind the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the deal with the spread guys is now we're in our wheelhouse. When we run plays like this, these guys don't see this play. Their offense doesn't run this play. They don't have fullbacks probably on the roster. So when you play, some of these spread guys, you're getting them out of their comfort zone. So this is a coach belief system play. Okay, this is what I honestly believe. I wanted when I was coaching our stuff that was different than someone else. I want to make them uncomfortable. I want to make the defense defending stuff they're not good at. I don't want to run stuff they're good at. So this is a coach's belief system of, listen, we're still going to isolate the scheme. Our line blocks it well. But the greatest, the star of the play is a lot. It's all of these things actually, Denny. It's not one thing, because I know people want to talk about the offensive line. They want to beat up the offensive line. It's BS in my opinion. This is a play that is successful because of all these things. Coach belief, they're not good at it. We blocked it good. They're not good at defending it. Our back read it well, so it's a great play by the back, the line, the scheme, the beliefs. It's not ever as simple as people believe. So this kid is lost. Probably doesn't see it a lot in practice. He's the key guy. Watch Mullings read that this guy overcommits. See how he's supposed to be in that gap. This play is actually defended well by 10 of their players. Okay, this kid actually comes up and meets this linebacker right where he's supposed to be, right? And this linebacker's right where he's supposed to be. But this kid is supposed to be in this gap right here. Okay, but Mullings, and this is great vision, like you talked about. Mulling sees he's attack. This is how Freddie Jackson used to coach it: attack the hole. But he's setting this kid up. He's setting him up. And then at the last second, what does he do? He bounces it outside to the gap he's supposed to be in. You see that?
Beautiful.
See, Mullings, he's got vision. He's been coached. I wonder, playing linebacker too. He played linebacker. But this kid is clueless. Clueless because he doesn't see this stuff in practice because of our philosophy. Get them out of their comfort zone. Our offensive line blocks it well. The back is the real star more than any, I think, but it's a combination of all those things. I know I spent a lot of time on that play, but I think there's a lot more going on than just, this guy or that guy or whatever. Again, I was glad that we finished up this drive like this because I think it's something, it's confidence, man. It's confidence that these guys have for Texas. It's this kind of drive I wanted. Back to the wall, close game, took it right down. Confidence will come in handy Saturday. Kid throws a nice pass, good route, easy to complete. Good separation there. And some other guys here. This guy's got to catch the ball. We got to throw it to this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Klein's got to be a factor in the pass game. Celebrate together. Coach Bo talked about that, man. Crippen was in the mix. We got competition at that position, man. Competition at the center position. We got talent everywhere, Denny. This is a different kind of talent.
Yeah, they did a great job. I know the stadium, the whole atmosphere there for that night game was awesome.
I don't think you caught what I was saying there. Trying to keep it PG here, but
I hear you. Good looking crowd.
Talk about the cheerleaders, Denny.
Yeah, they did a good job too.
Anyway, this is this drive. Another little. This is that same stunt Wink likes. He's running it now to the field. So we see I'd love to talk to Wink and get an understanding as to why he likes this stunt so much. Because there's always a story and there's a history that coach has that why he likes certain stunts more than others. So.
Well, when he's going to talk to the media, we'll bring you down, Scar.
Okay, anyway, ask him. I know you go 42-91 in the game. I like it. 42-91, 13-point game. These guys got to get better. Okay, there's the pick. Page, get a block. Let's go. Get a block. Let's go. Don't clip anybody. We don't need that, man. That was a big dumb penalty. 42 pushing the quarterback. You remember that?
I hated that call.
You just don't put yourself in that position, man.
I don't know. He was right. The guy backed into him.
But just don't even give the referee a chance to make that call. And here he is here, 42. He does a good job coming off that block. Just keep your hands in. And here's Etta here. So he was dressed. I don't know why the hell he didn't play. That's one of the only.
I think he got 2 snaps in the game, Scar, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he did get 2 snaps.
I think he did. I don't
understand it, man.
My guess would be is that it was a tight game all the way to the end, so they didn't. He's just not in the regular rotation.
Okay, here's number 2. I think he's a little aggressive here, and it hurts us on this play. I think he's supposed to be a flat player. This is a zone defense, Denny. Johnson's supposed to be in this flat where they're throwing the football. Okay? He's supposed to be sitting right here. What's the down and distance? 1st and 10. And then breaking on, covering the deep and breaking on the short. But he jumps on that short route, the other route. You see how he jumps on that?
Yeah.
And then they complete a pass. So we pay for that aggression. We paid for it. So I wonder how the coaches are treating that, because I just know he's not supposed to be there. He's supposed to be right there. So, but then the very next play, let's see what the coverage looks like. It's here. Yeah, this is maybe a little different coverage. Is this man? Anyway, he does a great job, and we all know the rest. Okay, so we just scored a touchdown, Denny. Who's this guy? I didn't know if he had cigars. The first time I saw it, I said, what's he got, cigars? No cigars. He's passing out glasses. Right?
Yeah. Let's make sure this call stood, but the one earlier, they were down here taking pictures and the ball was reversed. They got to make sure before they start taking pictures.
Yeah, I know.
That it's actually
I got questions, Danny. I'm an old dude, man. I'm an old boomer. What does some of this mean? What does that mean right there? Some of these signals,
I don't know. You need maybe Connor Stallions to tell you. No, I don't.
I'm too old. I don't know what this stuff means, man. He's got hook 'em horns over there.
I don't know. Oh yeah, maybe that's it. No, I don't know. Side words, St. A. The 2, maybe that's for Will Johnson. I don't know. When they start doing things like this, that's when I get confused.
Okay, now I got a problem here, Danny. I got a problem with this. It's we're up 20 points, 3:30 left in the game, and Mason Graham is still in the game. Seriously, he's still in the game.
That's where you gotta get Edo more snaps, huh?
I don't understand that at all. I mean, you would be sick if he broke a finger or something on this kid's face mask or something. I mean, you just don't know what can happen. Good job.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. Pull the starters.
I don't understand that.
Derek Moore is still in there too.
Yeah, number 6 come up there and hit, man. Who the heck is number 6? I forget.
Hillman.
Yeah, Denny, I tell you, I totally understand.
Brandon Hillman.
I totally understand why they rotated so many secondary guys, because I seen some guys in there that didn't hurt us, man. There's competition there. And here's Zero coming off the edge. Kenny out here containing. He'll get better at it. Big Kenny will figure out where he's, his limitations and his angles. Because rushing the quarterback is about knowing your limitations and how fast is the quarterback. But here's Stewart coming off the edge. Couple more plays and we're done. So that kid's now here's Ike in the game, late in the game. So good to see him getting reps. And Denny, this is I kind of reviewed some of these guys. Klein was just like I was hoping, solid, tough, could be a Scooney type guy. Hinton's going to have a great year. Preeb's going to have a great year. Center's undecided. We got guards that can pull. Both these guys are more athletic than the other guards we've had. Looks like this kid's going to be the guy. I didn't like that we didn't get Bredesen's backup in the game. Did you see 42 in the game?
No.
I don't think he played. We didn't get a third back in the game. So these two guys were solid. But anyway, that's all I got there on that.
Let me get a couple questions in there for you. So if you were just watching, you could tell a Wink defense from the Mac Minter defense by the twist and the slanting.
A couple little tweaks. A couple of Wink. There's certain stunts that guys like. Wink likes Wink is old school, man. I said he's got 1975 Donnie Dufek coming off the edge. Keith Bostic coming off the edge as a safety. Guys I played with. Same exact defensive deal. Slant. We called it slant strike from the sideline, or to the side. Anyway, the stuff's been around. Wink has got a lot of old school stuff, but he's got a lot of new school exotic stuff that he didn't show Fresno. Because, when I've looked at this guy's stuff when he was with the Ravens, and, you're going to play defense at Michigan, Denny, you better know what the hell you're doing. Because we run a lot of stuff. And I didn't see any mental mistakes on that field in terms of coverages, leaving guys unattended, on, zones not covered, guys not covered, gaps not defended. It looked like, for the most part, everything we did was pretty sound.
Now we're going to watch the offense on Friday. Yeah, and I think you're encouraged if you're a Michigan fan watching the defense, in particular. You mentioned him a few times, Josiah Stewart and Derek Moore. That's a nice thing to have in your back pocket when you're going against a team that's going to throw the ball. You can get pressure on Quinn Ewers. That's going to help those guys in the secondary. That's how Michigan's going to win this game. Let me ask you about Texas on defense. They saw what Loveland was able to do. taking a tight end, is that a little bit different than taking a wide receiver out? That's going to open some things up for some other players for Michigan somewhere, some of those wide receivers. But is it more difficult to take out a tight end because you can move them closer to the line, or you can flare them out? Michigan will have a plan there.
Is it difficult to take for Texas to take him out of the game?
Yeah, because they're going to, that's the number they're putting up on them.
Well, listen, they're going to have the same kind of problems with, is it a big kid? Is it a small kid? Is it a safety? Is it a linebacker? He's a big, tall, athletic kid, man. He's 6'5" and he can run. So he's a problem, no matter who the hell they put on him. And he's athletic. So that's the problem, Danny. They're going to do, they're going to try, but there comes a point when you got a good player, he's a problem. Is Wink playing chess by giving the same looks Fresno Tech? Listen, Smash, great defensive coordinators, they don't do the same thing week in, week out against the same formations. Just because you defended a certain team a certain way with one formation, out of a certain formation, you might change things totally differently. That was the thing I saw with Belichick. Belichick was unbelievable. He might defend certain personnel, certain formation one way, and he's totally different the next week. So, right. I think Wink is going to do the same thing, man. I think Wink was fine. I'm really happy with what I saw from Wink. He was not overly aggressive. He was exotic. He was problematic by being conservative, though, Denny. We brought just everything he talked about. That he was what he believed in. He's like, I'm going to bring stuff. I'm going to do things and bring guys, this, that, or whatever. But he still did it with only bringing 4 guys many times. So I'm all in on Wink, the OG. I'm all in.
Well, let's end this where we started. If people are just joining us, Scar had a prediction on the game, and Scar, why don't you reset that? You think Michigan has a chance in this game, a pretty good chance?
Hell yes. Come on, man. Listen. 21 positions, they got the advantage at 1 quarterback. Kids play 20 games. Our guys started 1 game. So like I said, they got an advantage at that position. Defensively, Michigan, slight edge, Michigan. The other 10 players on offense is probably a push. Okay? Their front, our front, tight ends, blah, 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 all together. So I think we got a better kicker and we're home. So 7.5 points. Come on, man. These guys, you're going to try to take down a team that is 3 championships in a row. These guys ain't these. We've made investments, man. Danny, you ever heard the old line? This was the first time I heard it with Lombard. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. At the same time, taking down a champion, those guys know how to win. Danny, it ain't like beating some guys that are used to losing. So you come into the big house. Our fans are going to be a factor. I'm taking a -1.5. I'm taking Michigan. I got an adjusted line paying $260. I told you. I don't give it. The game is a toss-up as far as I'm concerned. With I think slighted. The kid ain't Superman. That quarterback ain't Superman. And they got no Superman on that team. Let's go.
That's not Vince Young back there.
No, that ain't Vince Young getting off that bus.
No.
This guy is a hell of a passer. He's accurate, and Wink. A lot of pressure on everybody on Saturday.
And the other thing, you said it a few times last year. You didn't like those night games. They're great to watch, but if you're taking you back to when you were a player, old Scar might have been talking to those cheerleaders. If it was a noon game, you get back by the time you're in you get out of the tub and everything else. 1 o'clock in the morning.
Terrible, man. I don't like it at all. You can't have dinner with your parents. It's terrible. These parents want to see their kid. Man, Bo was always about 1 o'clock, man. Total leather. He wanted them early games, man. That way you go, you win, everybody's happy. You can meet your parents. You go have dinner somewhere on campus. Everybody's happy, man. Then you meet up with your buddies later, and everybody's happy. This 7:30 stuff, forget that, man. Once a year. They should have 1 a year.
Bo like to push back on the TV and everything else. You can't really do that now. He said, we'll be there. We'll kick it off. If you want to have the cameras there, go ahead, kind of thing. These guys now are like, Bo would be fighting with these guys all the time.
I'm confident, man. Our quarterback was fine. I'm confident. We're going to have huge improvement game 1 to game 2. That offensive line is going to tighten things up. Let's go.
All right, smash the like button and subscribe. We're trying to get to 5K. We're going to get this big party going that I'll be throwing. So when we get to
Mondays from now on, Danny, me and you, Mondays, telestrating throughout the season.
That sounds great, Scar. So we'll see you this Monday after a Michigan win over Texas.
That's it. Go blue. And me and you will be going post game too.
Woo! Post game, Michigan, Texas. So, yeah, what a week it will be. For Jim Scarcelli, I'm Dennis Fithian. Thanks.